Yo, what's up everybody, and we're back with another video. Today, we're diving into a topic that's been blowing up my comments: American cities people are running from. Imagine waking up to a city with no jobs, skyrocketing crime, and neighborhoods turning into ghost towns. This isn't a horror movie, it's happening right now. In this video, we reveal the 10 US cities facing mass exoduses by 2025, and why you need to leave before it's too late. Stick around. Number 7 will shock you. The American dream is collapsing in these cities. From crime waves to climate disasters, people are fleeing faster than ever. Today we're breaking down the data, the trends, and the secrets officials don't want you to know. Grab your notepad, this could save your future. Hey guys, before we dive in, smash that like button and subscribe. This info could literally change your life. Let's get into it. We're kicking off our list with a city that's used to the cold but can't seem to handle the chill of a shrinking population. Buffalo, New York. We all know Buffalo for its brutal winters, but lately the lack of jobs is making the city feel even colder. Young people are packing their bags and heading for warmer climates, both literally and figuratively. The population has plummeted by a staggering 15% since 2020. That's like the entire population of Cleveland, Ohio, just up and vanishing. Imagine entire neighborhoods with empty houses, schools with dwindling student bodies, and a downtown that's eerily quiet. What's causing this mass exodus? Well, the decline of manufacturing jobs hit Buffalo hard, and the city hasn't quite recovered. So if you're looking for a city with a bright future, Buffalo might leave you out in the cold. Next up, we're heading to the City of Angels, where the traffic's hellish. The wildfires are a constant threat, and a tiny house will cost you $4 million. It's no surprise that even the sunshine can't keep people in Los Angeles anymore. Remember those dreams of cruising down the Pacific Coast Highway with the top down? Well, not so fast. You'll be lucky if you can even crawl a mile in an hour during rush hour in LA. And those wildfires? They're not just burning down forests. They're burning a hole in people's wallets with sky-high insurance premiums and the constant threat of losing everything. But here's the kicker. Remote workers, the people who could work from anywhere, are ditching the glitz and glamour of LA for, wait for it, Wyoming. That's right. The state known for cowboys and wide-open spaces is becoming a haven for those fleeing the madness of LA. It seems even the allure of Hollywood can't compete with the peace and quiet of a place where you can actually see the stars at night. We're moving on to a city that was once known for its blue-collar grit and delicious crab cakes, but now it's facing a different kind of reality. Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore's charm is fading fast as schools struggle, drugs flood the streets, and even the iconic Chesapeake Bay crabs can't seem to keep people from leaving. The education system is in crisis mode with some of the lowest graduation rates in the country. Parents are left with a heartbreaking choice: keep their kids in failing schools or pack up and move to a city that values their children's future. The opioid epidemic has also taken a devastating toll on Baltimore, leaving communities ravaged by addiction and crime. The streets that were once bustling with life are now riddled with danger. Even Baltimore's famous crab cakes can't mask the bitter taste of despair that's settled over the city. Next up, we're heading to the Sunshine State, but don't let the sunny skies fool you. Miami's got some dark secrets lurking beneath the surface. Miami might be known for its beaches, nightlife, and luxurious lifestyle, but it's also sinking. Literally. Sea levels are rising, and Miami is on the front lines of the climate change crisis. Flooding is a constant threat, costing the city an estimated $1 billion every year. Imagine your dream beachfront mansion turning into a waterfront nightmare as the ocean creeps closer and closer. Even millionaires are selling their luxurious waterfront properties at bargain prices, desperate to escape before it's too late. So while Miami might seem like a tropical paradise, the reality is that it's a ticking time bomb. We're heading to the Pacific Northwest, where a city known for its quirky charm is losing its appeal: Portland, Oregon. Portland was once a haven for artists, hipsters, and anyone who embraced the motto, "Keep Portland Weird." But lately, the weirdness has taken a turn for the worse. Political unrest has gripped the city, with violent protests and clashes becoming all too common. The streets that were once filled with street performers and craft markets are now patrolled by riot police. Vandalism has skyrocketed by a staggering 20%, leaving businesses boarded up and residents feeling unsafe. The city that once prided itself on its tolerance and acceptance is now marred by division and destruction. Families who were drawn to Portland's laid-back vibe are now fleeing the chaos, seeking refuge in quieter, more peaceful communities. Hold on to your hats, because we're heading to the Windy City, where the crime rate's as high as the Willis Tower and the taxes are even higher. Chicago, Illinois. Chicago, once a beacon of Midwestern charm and opportunity, is facing a mass exodus as residents flee soaring crime rates and the nation's heaviest tax burden. Over 100,000 people have packed their bags and said goodbye to the Windy City in 2023 alone. That's like the entire population of Green Bay, Wisconsin just disappearing. The streets of Chicago have become a battleground, with shootings and homicides plaguing neighborhoods. Families are living in fear, afraid to let their children play outside or even walk to school. And if the crime wasn't bad enough, the crushing tax burden is enough to make even the most die-hard Chicagoan consider a change of scenery. Get ready for a wild ride because we're heading to the Big Easy where the party never stops, but neither do the hurricanes New Orleans, Louisiana.
New Orleans is a city that knows how to party, but it's also a city that knows how to bounce back from disaster.
But with the increasing frequency and intensity of hurricanes, even the most resilient residents are starting to question whether they can weather the storm.
Imagine living with the constant threat of your home being destroyed, your belongings washed away, and your life turned upside down. That's the reality for the people of New Orleans.
Insurance companies are taking notice, and they're not liking what they see. Premiums are skyrocketing, and many companies are flat out refusing to insure homes in New Orleans.
So, while the music may be tempting and the food irresistible, the risk of losing everything in a hurricane is a gamble that fewer and fewer people are willing to take.
Buckle up, because we're heading to the Motor City, where the once booming auto industry has sputtered to a halt, leaving a trail of unemployment and despair in its wake. Detroit, Michigan.
Detroit was once a symbol of American industrial might, the birthplace of the automobile and a magnet for opportunity seekers from across the nation. But the collapse of the auto industry hit Detroit hard, leaving behind a city grappling with abandoned factories, sky-high unemployment, and a shrinking population.
The unemployment rate in Detroit hovers around a staggering 8.9%, more than double the national average. Imagine the struggle of trying to provide for your family in a city where jobs are scarce and hope seems even scarcer.
The scars of Detroit's industrial past are still visible today, with abandoned factories and crumbling buildings serving as a constant reminder of the city's lost glory. While Detroit is making strides towards revitalization, the road to recovery is long and arduous.
Get ready to shell out some serious cash, because we're heading to the Golden City, where the tech boom has priced out all but the super-rich San Francisco, California.
San Francisco, once a haven for artists, dreamers, and tech innovators, has become a victim of its own success. The tech boom that brought prosperity to the city has also brought sky-high rents, a widening gap between the rich and the poor, and a homelessness crisis that's spiraling out of control.
Imagine paying $3,500 a month for a tiny studio apartment, or being forced to live on the streets because you can't afford the exorbitant cost of living. That's the harsh reality for many in San Francisco.
Even tech giants that once flocked to the city are now packing their bags and heading for cheaper pastures, taking their high-paying jobs with them. The homelessness crisis is a stark reminder of the city's failure to address the growing inequality.
Hold on to your six-shooters, because we're heading to the gateway to the west, where the crime rate's higher than a 10-gallon hat and the population's dwindling faster than a tumbleweed in a windstorm St. Louis, Missouri. St. Louis, once a bustling hub for westward expansion, is now facing a crisis of epic proportions. The city that once symbolized American progress is now grappling with a soaring crime rate, a shrinking population, and a sense of hopelessness that's permeating every corner of the city. With a staggering 35% increase in violent crime since 2020, St. Louis has earned the grim title of murder capital of America. The streets that were once filled with the hustle and bustle of city life are now riddled with danger, leaving residents living in fear. Even lifelong St. Louisians who have weathered previous storms are now packing their bags and bidding farewell to the city they once called home. The exodus is a clear sign that the city's problems run deep and require drastic measures to address. St. Louis serves as a cautionary tale of how a city once brimming with promise can fall victim to neglect, crime, and a sense of hopelessness. So, there you have it, folks. 10 U.S. cities where the American dream is fading faster than your tan lines after a weekend at the beach. If you're in these cities, it's time to pack. Drop a comment below. Are you leaving? Hit subscribe and check out our next video, 10 Safest Cities to Move to Before 2025. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.